Back to school time. Some of our bigger districts, though, they're yet to start classes.
Local police are already putting plans in place, though, to make sure that drivers stay off the phone and obey those school zone rules. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach is joining us with more. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, Tiffany. Joe, Fayetteville doesn't return to school until August 11th officially, but law enforcement is still reminding everyone to be mindful as we head back to school. There's a herd of geese flying over me right now. If you can hear that, you know it's back to school season when the geese come out in the morning. But they are still adding officers in the Fayetteville area to roads all around schools, specifically on crosswalks like the one behind me. You'll see officers here next week when Fayetteville returns to school. They say that while it is important to be aware of your surroundings while driving year-round, this time of year especially is unpredictable, with more children walking and crossing the streets. Law enforcement is reminding drivers to stay off their phones, follow the posted speed limits, and watch for pedestrians. Violating these laws can result in a fine, especially in a school zone. Officers say pedestrian accidents occur both in and out of school zones and can happen in an instant.
Takes a split second for something to go tragically wrong. We communicate with people all day, every day. That text message can wait. That notification can wait. You really should be just focused on the primary task at hand, and that's operating your vehicle.
Fayetteville Police Department is able to add these officers because of the School Resource Officer, or SRO, program. It's a partnership between the police department and the city of Fayetteville to make sure that there's increased presence of officers as school kicks back up. Live in Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.
All right, thank you for that, Claire. Well, we want to see your back to school pictures. So as you're heading back, send them to us. Save this number, 479-785-5000. We're going to show them right here on 5 News this morning, this week, and next. Well, today, Fayetteville Public Schools breaking ground for the new Ramey Junior High, which comes after a Washington County Circuit judge dismissed a Fayetteville resident's appeal against construction of the new campus. Regarding some concerns that the project would bring flooding and increased traffic, the ceremony will start at 8:30 this morning. Also today, Forsyth City directors could make a hiring decision for the new city administrator position. They'll go into executive session during their regular city council meeting. The board is looking at 2 candidates, the current acting city administrator Jeff Dingman and Robert Civic, an administrator from Whitfield County, Georgia. Directors, again, will discuss during an executive session, and we'll keep you updated on what happens.
Well, the group looking to change Fort Smith's form of government is now one step closer to getting their proposal on the November ballot. The citizens group submitted signatures with their ballot petition proposal at the city clerk's office on Monday. The group was planning to do it 2 weeks ago, but a canvasser raised concerns over how some signatures were notarized. Despite the hurdle, the group says that they're confident the proposal will be in front of voters this November. And now it's up to the city's clerk office to count and verify every signature.
I will convey with the utmost of confidence that me and my team, me and my staff, we will do everything within our power that if any individual that has signed this petition, if they're a registered voter, we'll find them.
The petition must have a little more than 2,600 valid signatures to get on the ballot in November. The group said that they have more than 3,600 and will continue to get signatures as the city clerk's office counts. Well, new this morning, the Arkansas Department of Health has issued a boil order in Sulphur Springs. On Monday, the city said the emergency measure is due to a chlorinator malfunction and E. coli bacteria in the distribution system.
Customers are asked to boil water for 1 minute before drinking, cooking, or making ice. The city says the notice will stay in effect until the problem is fixed.
Well, the Trump administration is rejecting Arkansas's request to renew the Medicaid expansion program.
Yeah, AR Home program uses Medicaid dollars to buy private health insurance. About 200,000 low-income Arkansans use the program. DHS says the changes are not immediate for those enrolled, and beneficiaries do not need to take any action. But advocates for the program are urging state leaders to keep some form of Medicaid expansion in place.
So we have an opportunity to maybe align with what other states are doing, or to go back to the drawing board and see how we can approve it.
Well, the state Senate president says the federal rules now require Medicaid waiver programs to meet certain budget standards, and he believes that the current model is too expensive to continue as it is.
We understand there are some people that cannot work, that cannot afford it. We want to take care of them, but there's simply too many people being put in the wagon, being pulled by too few. We can't afford it on a state level. The federal government certainly can't afford it.
The governor's office says it is discussing a temporary extension with the federal government to prevent gaps in coverage during the transition period.
Well, there have been 2 lawsuits filed involving a Bentonville photographer.
Now, Russell Bloodworth accused of using AI to generate child sexual abuse materials on XAI's Grok. We've learned that a second family filed a lawsuit naming XAI and related companies owned by Elon Musk. The lawsuit claims that the victim is 9 years old and says local police contacted their parents back in June to alert them that professional pictures of their daughter were being put into Grok and made into the sexual abuse materials. A similar lawsuit was filed by another alleged victim's family last week.
5 News also obtained court documents showing XAI is filing a lawsuit against Bloodworth. The lawsuit alleges that he used Grok to sexualize and exploit children. He has been charged with more than 200 counts of distributing, possessing, or viewing sexually explicit material of a child. Well, more than 18,000 cases of Cyclosporiasis have been reported in 45 states.
Michigan, by far the largest number of cases, and now the first 2 deaths linked to the outbreak. Carter Evans has more.
The Michigan Department of Health is now confirming 2 people have died from this summer's unprecedented cyclosporiasis outbreak. Former FDA Associate Commissioner Peter Pitts.
Does that mean that this is still running rampant through communities?
Data collection is a long and arduous process. And a lot of the adverse events that we're learning about now, including the few deaths that could have happened months ago, it's very unlikely that we're hearing about a more severe later outbreak.
The Michigan Department of Health said both people who died had significant underlying health conditions that may have been impacted by cyclosporiasis and dehydration.
If a person is older or immunocompromised or some other pre-existing condition that would make a more serious adverse event likely.
Cyclosporiasis is caused by a parasite found on contaminated fresh fruits and vegetables. The FDA investigation pointed to iceberg lettuce grown by Taylor Farms in Mexico. The company says it has removed all of the suspected lettuce from store shelves.
I think people can feel pretty safe that the produce on the shelves right now are safe from the problem.
Have you been eating salads?
I eat salads every day.
But Pitts does take precautions.
Wash everything you eat, all fruits and vegetables, always. It's best practice, especially now.
The CDC confirmed about 7,000 cases so far, but at least 11,000 more are suspected. And the reason it takes so long to confirm is because each sample has to be examined under a microscope by a person who can visually identify the parasite. Carter Evans, CBS News, Los Angeles.